over here. Let me show you.
Is always
So
important.
always try to tell all the other people that dangerous things are going on here.
Message from OGS Hybrid and EV Repair Center. Unauthorized persons, please step back. Lithium-ion battery charge is in progress. Repeat, lithium-ion battery charge is in progress.
And
This is Florin. We really have to understand whether indeed there's a problem in the battery. Now, we know it was a problem in the battery, but do we still have a problem in the battery, or there's something else? What we have in here, high voltage power electronics, front and rear. So this car, it has two motors, both of them being powered up, of course, by the battery. Now, one of those inverters, the one that inverts the energy from direct current in alternative to propel the motor, it has an error, discharging fault. And what we believe is that that's where we have to focus on. So this is where we kind of drifted a bit, thinking that we have to focus on the battery. Now, here is the rear inverter, the front inverter. Front inverter is only complaining about an error code from the brake assist, from the ABS. The rear is complaining about an error with the brake system, but also it has an error discharge fault. Now, what is this discharge? So those inverters, they get energized from the battery. And in here we have some relays. Yeah, in here we have some relays. They get energized. Sorry. I hope it makes sense. I'm so excited to talk about it because it's quite interesting, and then we're going to get to action. So I hope it makes sense. Leave me a comment. Tell me if it makes sense. I hope we present good. So whenever the relays are turned off, when the engine is switched off, there's still energy left in those inverters. And that energy has to be disposed of. It has to be discharged. So there are some capacitors that they use to discharge that energy. However, it looks like those capacitors have to be discharged. So, however, rear inverter is reporting there's a problem with that system that is supposed to discharge the capacitors. We have to take this cover off. Now, by taking the cover off, we should be able to access a bit, but we won't be able to take the inverter off. And we found the way through. Now, at the moment, the Porsche has two inverters on the car. So what we've done, we connected this donor inverter on the car, because what is essential is that we make sure the control unit is paired with the car in order to work. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. And for us to get to replace the one on the car, we have to drop all assembly. And what we don't want to be in a situation where we drop the whole assembly, we put a new one, and it doesn't work. However, we made a bit of progress because we've connected the unit and we've got it programmed to the car. So it actually works. This unit integrates immobilizer function, which means if it's not programmed, the car is not going to run. But we managed to program it, so the Porsche software, it does work, and it does allow coding second-hand parts like the inverter on the car, which is a big yes, because it's going to reduce the cost of the repair. So with the unit coded to the car, we are ready to drop the whole assembly to get it replaced. It's going to be a bit of a job. So in order to get access to the rear axle inverter, the battery has to come out, and then we have to drop all assembly, which is what we're working on. At some point he was looking that we hit another wall because we tried to take the wheels off and no lucky wheel nut key. As the customer, I said, I'll have it in my kitchen. I'll bring it now. Say, what? Why the lucky wheel nut stays in the kitchen? Why does it stay by the car? But then a sign came, and we know we are on the right way. The lucky wheel nut came with a sign, so I think this Porsche is going to be alive soon. So how often does it happen to have customers that they don't leave the lucky wheel nut key in the car. Why would the lucky wheel nut key have a different location than inside the car? So here is the complete assembly with the electric motor, transmission, and here is the inverter. Look how massive it's all thing. And we need to take this part out, but because we have some bolts on this side, inaccessible until we pull all the mechanism, all the assembly out. In order us to remove the assembly, we need to disconnect the drive shafts. Those are there. And for that, we need to disassemble the suspension arms, which we are starting to do now. This bar here is actually also the part that helps to adjust the wheel alignment on the back, because in here it has some eccentric adjusters to adjust the wheel alignment on the rear. Second drive shaft out, and we are ready to take the motor out. The assembly is not attached at all to the subframe. It's all attached to the body of the vehicle, but because of the subframe, obviously we cannot lower it. So it has mountings on the front to at the back and no attachment onto the subframe at all. But that's the only way it will come out. Got everything prepared to lift up the assembly motor, transfer it on a different table where we can work on it to replace the inverter. Should I lower it more? Yeah. Yeah. One table out. Another one in. More. Perfect. All good? So the reason that we had to do all this is because this inverter, it has some connections in here that cannot be accessed because of this cover. And this cover cannot be taken off because it sits right near the subframe edge. So there's no access to take on those bolts. Quite a lot of work if you think about it. And in there we'll only have three connectors and 3 bolts connectors to the electric motor and some temperature sensor. Anyway, our plan is to disconnect the hose first of all before we can lift up the inverter. We have 4 securing bolts and then of course the motor one. It's very tiny seal, and this is the cover that is restricting the access to those 3 bolts. That's all what it is. That's what we had to take all this off. You have a step up. You done with those? Yeah. What? Will do. Will do. Lal said to do another test. Of course we'll do. We'll do all the tests specifically. We are not 100%, but we are 95% that this should work. The use part should be working now on the car because we already done the programming for the immobilizer early on. Okay, and here we also have a seal, and we'll have the connectors. We'll need the third table in here too. Yeah. Yep. The test that we did is for the IGBT, for the part of the inverter which is supplying the electric motor, and that seems to be fine. But our problem is not that. It's another section that it should discharge the current when the ignition is turned off, and that's not here. Is more harder to be accessed because we have to take this cover off, and it has a rather very tight sealant. So let's go and put it on. Oh, let's see how we're gonna. Need to move in. Okay. Guys, we need a bit of help here. Yeah? Start drop. We managed to balance the motor with the help of Harry. Thank you, Harry. Before we'll attach the assembly, we have some wiring to connect, and then we'll be on our way up. So our plan is to connect the minimum possible, which is going to be the wiring, put the assembly on, put then the traction battery on, connect it, make sure we can clear the codes, and we will have ready. And only afterwards we'll connect the drive shaft and obviously all the suspension arms that we have disconnected. We've got the assembly ready to go back on the car. All good your end? Okay. Greasy grease. Try to secure the subframe at the front point, then it will be easier to balance the rest and connect it in the back of the car. No. Only 4 big bolts is holding the whole motor, the suspension onto the body of the car. 4 with the car. Now we'll have to see. Perfect, spot on. So we've got the motor adjusted, secured in the rear side of the car. Just the bolts now in the front, and we're good to go. That's it. Motor fully attached to the body. Stuck on the floor. Let me go on this side. Only a few bolts. We want to see that light. We don't even know how the ready sign looks like on this Macan, no? Taycan. Let's see now from the top. Do we have the key here? We're gonna need it. We need to start it. Does it start? The Taycan is once again all together. We've secured everything. Everything is in place, ready and connected. It is the time to connect the 12-volt system, and hopefully we will have this car at last, for first time, error-free, and we want to see that ready light coming on. Hopefully our theory makes sense and it'll prove us right. Let's see. We have the scanner connected. Let's turn the, yeah, do you see the VCF? It should light up. Yeah, now we're gonna turn the ignition on. High voltage system not de-energized.
Yellow.
Electrical system fault. There's no more red light, which I think is a step forward. We might be on track today. It was a bit of a nightmare, wasn't it, this job? Oh my goodness. We're gonna scan the car, see exactly what error codes we have. We're gonna clear them, and then hopefully we'll have ready when we try to start and put a foot on the brake. So let's see. We have now clear all the error codes, although we still have a lot of the error codes because we might still have things disconnected. We are interested to say. So no error codes in the rear inverter. Well, there is something, but not related with high voltage converter malfunction. For the first time, we see the high voltage battery error free. The Porsche should come alive. We still have the orange light. Let's cycle the ignition. The line went. Electric system for. So the 12-volt battery, as we know, we reset it twice, and it looks like it's gone down again. We had it without the, and it could be that it's triggering all this. We definitely have the service connector on here. So now it seems that all of what we are left is going to be the 12-volt battery, which is trigger a chain reaction. Although we have power on the battery on the car, but the battery has a control unit and it's obviously sending the wrong signal out, and is preventing other functions from operating correctly. So it's not gonna happen today, unfortunately. It's so frustrating, but I think we've made significant progress. So we need a plan with a 12-volt battery, and then hopefully we have the red. I don't even know where the ready comes on this one. I don't remember. It's coming here, 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 somewhere around here. Florin, we've got delivery. First of all, we have the EQB running.
This is what microprocessor.